Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know this, it's your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. Today we're going to be talking about Love Island Season 11, Episode 7, and let's get right into the video. Let's get right into the video because what just happened? I'm just so glad that, you know, this was a sign. This was a sign for me. Like, if nothing else, this was a sign for Mimii to just keep moving on. Just keep moving on. Because what? Anyway, in this episode, Mimii is safe. She goes on a date with Omar, and you know, they're chatting, they're talking, da 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 da. Anyways, back at the villa, Ayo's talking to the guys, and he's basically saying, you know, like, oh, if he had a chance to pick and he had to be in the lineup, he would have picked Mimii, and Mimii would have been his first choice.
I feel like if anyone understands what's been going on in this villa from day one, then Mimii is my first choice. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, respectfully, innit?
You know, if he had a chance to pick, and he's telling the guys that, you know, the girls are like happy for Mimii to go on there with Omar. We see Uma basically saying to the girls like how, you know, she didn't really want to step on, you know, Samantha's toes or, you know, Jess's toes by picking Ronnie or Joey or Karen, you know, with Nicole, which is just like, okay, but you picked Ayo, but you didn't want to pick Joey because of Samantha. Samantha's thanking you, basically saying, you know, thank you for not picking Joey and whatnot, which is kind of a bit weird. It's a bit weird, Uma. We also see how Jess and Samantha is basically telling Uma how, you know, they see more, you know, attraction with Ayo and Uma than Ayo and Mimii. Like, oh, there's more attraction there, like they're better suited, da 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 da. And that's what they're telling Uma. But I'm just like, if that was the case, you should start telling Mimii, like, you know what? I think he, you know, Ayo's more into Uma than you. Like, try to let her know, give her a heads up, because you telling Uma that, but you're not telling Mimii that. Anyways, back to Omar and Mimii's date. Omar is a PE teacher. He's like 6'1", 6'2". You know, they're having a chat. The chat's going nice. You know, he's showing interest, she's showing interest. It's good. Get back to the villa. You know, they're basically debriefing what happened on the date, this, that, and the third. Ayo, he talks to Uma before Omar and Mimii comes back. And Ayo's basically telling Uma that he wished there was more seconds in that first kiss.
Do you know what I think about? I think about that kiss a lot.
What?
The one where you came in and it was just like for 2 seconds.
What do you mean by that?
Just meaning there should have been more seconds added to that.
Just like the cuddles, in due time.
Oh, this is all within a couple of days.
I mean, I'm very like a closed flower at the moment. Do you know what I mean? It takes me a minute to blossom.
Noted.
When I'm just like, you just said Mimii was your first choice if you had a chance, but you're telling Uma that you wish there was more seconds in the kiss. And he tried to ask Uma for a kiss, and Uma's like, you know what, I'm a closed flower, I'm a closed book, like, it takes time for me to blossom. Like, you know what, she's telling him that, like, she's like, she basically shut that down right then and there. She's like, you gotta warm up to that. Anyways, Omar and Mimii come back, and Mimii, she's, you know, talking about the whole situation and whatnot. And then I think she pulls Ayo and basically tells Ayo, you know what, like, oh, you couldn't get rid of me that easily, da 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 da. Basically saying, you know, I'm still here, you know, and she told him, you know, it should have been me.
You're just joking?
No, it's good. You happy?
I'm happy to be here, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously it's a bit mad, still taking it in. Should have been me, but...
Swear.
Ooh.
What? Me?
What?
Stop it.
Stop.
You're moving crazy.
Stop.
You're moving
What did I say?
crazy.
What did I say? What did I say? What did I say?
You're moving crazy.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
And I'm like, Mimii, you're telling Ayo right then and there it should have been you? Like, reel it in. I know you like him, but reel it in. You let him know that, you know, Mimii and Ayo should have been a couple of, like, don't do that. Like, oh my gosh, Mimii bold for doing that. But anyways, it is what it is. You know, the Islanders go to sleep. Before they go to sleep, Nicole and Kieran, you know, they share a kiss on the day beds or in the little area. And, you know, basically he's glad with his choice. Ronnie and Jess have a chat about Ronnie's speech. Basically, Jess feels some type of way about Ronnie's speech. But, you know, because the speech was basically showing more interest in Harriet than Jess. The girls are kind of a little bit off with Harriet because, you know, Harriet was with Kieran, but Kieran messed that up. Because Kieran, it's not all on Harriet. Kieran messed that up. You know, granted, she was trying to be petty with trying to pull Joey for a chat. And then Sean's interested in Harriet, but Harriet never really showed interest in Sean. She's just trying to, like, you know, just glad that she has an option besides Kieran. She really likes Ronnie if she had to choose anybody else besides Kieran. So I don't know why they be, you know, the girls like, oh, Harriet, like, oh, she's just jumping from guy to guy. Like, really? She told you straight up that she was just using Joey. Sean, she doesn't really care for him that much. And Ronnie showed interest in her, and she showed interest in Ronnie. So, like, what it is. We also see Manveer. He actually bucked up and actually pulled somebody for a chat. He pulled Jess for a chat, which is wild. He pulled Jess for a chat, and he basically talked to Jess, but Jess, you know, she just basically just like, you know, glad that she has an option. Basically like, oh, you know, da. But Jess is not feeling Manveer. She wasn't feeling him day one. She's not gonna be feeling him now. Option right now, besides Ronnie, if Ronnie decides to mess up. Anyways, you know, they go to sleep, wake up the next day, and Nicole and Kieran go on a date. So they go on their first date, which is like, okay, the date took up like maybe a good 15 minutes of the episode. Back at the villa, Uma and Ayo are chatting. And Mimii gets up from the girls and starts walking over and pulling Ayo for a chat.
Baby.
What are you telling me, Mimii?
Can I steal you for a second?
Yeah,
Go for it on.
Go for it. Chat in a bit.
Chat to you later, yo-yo.
Mimii, why are you going over pulling guys for a chat? Like, granted, you are single. And I can understand, you know, as a single person, you know, you have a chance to move around and speak to whoever. But really and truly, if Ayo's basically saying that he shows interest in you, and you know, he's not just closed off of Uma and whatnot. He basically told you, you know, he doesn't tell you right then and there, but in the conversation, he's telling, you know, Mimii that she was his first choice, or you know, if he had a chance to pick her, But I'm just like, why is Mimii pulling Ayo for a chat? Granted, if Mimii was a bombshell, this would have been fair game. And I granted Mimii is single, so she could be moving around like this. But don't do it. No, don't do it. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Anyway, she does pull from chat. Here's what he had to say. Basically, try to figure out where his head is at. This is now the third. The same girls, Jess, Samantha, Patsy, whoever, basically like rooting her on, you know, to go over the, you know, chat to Ayo. Even though they were telling Uma the last night how Uma and Ayo look good together and seems like it's a better match. Like, which is it? Uchiwali or one mic? Like, make it make sense. Anyways, that was a chat, whatever. They get ready, they get a text, and then the text basically said there's gonna be a red pre-love party, and, you know, hashtag eBay, whatever. Yeah, they get ready for the night, and, you know, in the nighttime, we see, you know, Mimii and the girls sitting and we see Ayo and Uma over on the day bed, and Ayo's holding Uma's hand.
Going to feel, like, start getting feelings.
Like feelings, yeah, of course, yeah.
You don't want to mug yourself.
So the girls pointed it out to Mimii, like, oh, they're holding hands and da-da-da-da, but Mimi's kind of like, you know what? I'm kind of like falling back from this whole situation because he's saying one thing and then he's like holding hands with her in front of my face. Like, if you're gonna do that, go onto the terrace or go somewhere in private if you're gonna do that. Not do that right in my face, because that's just kind of showing like, okay, you're like real deal about this person. You know what I'm saying? So Mimi's kind of like feeling over the whole situation. So she actually gets up and pulls Omar for a chat to Omar. Also, earlier in that day, Omar talks to Patsy for a bit, and the chat was basically kind of like dry. You know, she just basically talks about tattoos, and he's just like, you know, I never really thought about having tattoos at all, and that was it. Anyways, later that night, we see that Mimii pulled Omar for a chat, but we never see the chat. So then they get a text that they're gonna play a game with the balloons. I believe Kieran, he basically called Harriet the one with the most red flags. So Harriet was just like, are you looking in the mirror? Because you're the one with the most red flags. Then we see, you know, Ayo. He basically gets a text to kiss the person that is his type on paper. You know, so he kisses Uma.
Snog the Islander you think is 100% your type on paper.
Gave my heart.
Yes, good.
Cherry on top is, I believed it.
And he kisses Uma right in front of Mimi's face. And, you know, the camera basically pans to Mimii looking like, you know what? And then the guy's just laughing. They're just laughing. I mean, it looks very much edited, but we can't put it past Ayo, because Ayo been laughing and kikiing since last week. You can't really put it past Ayo, but it shows Ayo and the boys laughing, Mimii looking like, just what just happened? And he just kissed Uma to basically show that Uma was his type on paper. Also, Ronnie, he got a chance to kiss two of the people that he sees the most. He kissed Jess first, and then he kissed Harriet. Jess is basically in the beach hut, basically saying, you know, oh, you know, you see who he picked first? He picked Jess. He picked me first. Then he picked Harriet second. So that should just name what it is. But Jess, if he didn't kiss you first, it would have been a problem. And also, you guys are coupled up together, so I mean, I feel like he fancies Harriet more than you, but we'll see. Time will tell. We'll see, Jess. But I don't think you should be gassed by him picking you first in the challenge. That was the right thing to do in a challenge like that, because you guys are coupled up together, okay? Anyways, the episode ends with the Uma and Ayo kiss, basically him picking her as the one. You know, Uma's his type on paper. But yeah. Also in this episode, I just feel like Mimii has some ops in the villa. You know, time will tell, but there's been some things that just looks not right. As soon as Mimii goes over to talk to Umar, Uma comes over to the girls and basically says, what's up? The girls basically just tell Uma, oh, it was about the hand holding. And I'm just like, why are you trying to make it seem like Mimi's beefing with you about the hand holding? Mimii just said it looked weird for him because he's telling her one thing and he's doing another thing. Uma basically told the girls that he said that he's just interested in me. He's just interested in getting to know me. But Ayo's basically telling Mimii that he's interested to get to know her and Uma both. So it's like, what is Ayo? Ayo's very much an unserious person. This is week 2 now. And I just feel like moving forward, that kiss, Mimii should just focus on Omar and just keep it at that. Because that just showed you, if Ayo wants to chat to you, he has to pull you for a chat. You can't be walking over to Ayo and Omar and this and that. You gotta let them come to you to, you know, facilitate these chats. Like, I know you're single, but let them come to you, girl, because you're still an OG. She's still an OG girl. But that was today's episode. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But yeah, if you guys like this video, like the video, comment down below and let me know your thoughts, comments, concerns, and you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Anyway, you guys watching this video, peace.